platform and a ERP solution that covers all of the different elements that we have in supply chain management. So without much ado, I'll just jump on to the agenda. We'll do a quick introduction about us. We'll share a bit about us as an organization, our approach to digital transformation, the way we look at digital transformation, and the way we engage with organizations, how we do it. Quick overview about Microsoft Dynamics, the solution, the suite of solutions that Microsoft has. Then look at supply chain, why technology is so critical for supply chain management. And then my colleague Satish, who brings deep expertise in Microsoft Dynamics as well as supply chain management domain. He would do a deep dive. He'll share his perspective on supply chain management, and then we'll look at the solution briefly in terms of what are the different modules, what are the different functionalities that are available within Dynamics 365 supply chain management. And then towards the end, we'll have a couple of minutes for Q&A. We already had some of our questions coming in as part of the form that you submitted for the session. Um, the way we have structured the session is we are covering most of the questions that we have already received. In addition to that, if you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer towards the end of the session. Thank you again, and let's jump right in. Solution Consulting, we are a Dubai headquartered Microsoft Dynamics Gold implementation partner. We also achieved the Cloud Business Application Partner certificate last year, which is only the second company in UAE to achieve this certification. We are a Microsoft house. We deal only with Microsoft technologies. We intentionally specialized in Microsoft technologies. We think Microsoft has a great product and very deep functionalities, and we want to make sure when we engage with a client, we are absolutely uh, aware and we have a deep understanding of the product, so that when you look at different functionalities as your organization grows with your ERP platform, with the Dynamics ERP platform, we should be able to guide you, support you um, throughout the time you use Microsoft technologies, and make sure that we are regularly updated and aware of all the new things that are offered by Microsoft. We are a team of 130 plus members now, based out of Dubai, Kochi, and Hyderabad in India. And then we have our office in Riyadh as well. Slightly old slide, but we are already started operations in Riyadh. We have delivered over 100 projects now, and we have been able to successfully deliver all our projects over these years. Retail, healthcare, manufacturing, real estate, financial services, energy. These are some of the big industries that we worked in, but there have been ad hoc projects in other industries. In terms of our approach, we keep it very simple. We like building lifelong relationships. ERP is not something like a small app that you implement today and tomorrow you move on to something else. It is one of the key element for an organization's success, and you would once you select an ERP platform, you would stick on with it for several years. And we want to make sure we deliver the project successfully and build a partnership where throughout your journey, we're there to help you out. And that sort of takes us into the approach that we follow when we take up an ERP implementation project. Um, Infra upgradation, application upgradation, that's the bare minimum that you would actually see in an ERP implementation. You move from an on-premise version to a cloud version. That's upgrading your infrastructure. You're upgrading you may be using smaller ERP or a lot of manual processes, Excel-based activities may be happening currently in your organization. And ERP is just upgrading the entire applications or silos of applications that you have in your organization. That we believe is the bare minimum that uh, you know an organization would need to do. what really happens after the implementation. We may take a couple of months to implement, but what really happens after the implementation is there is a transformation that happens with the business model of the organization. There is a cultural transformation that is bound to happen with an ERP. And that is where a large amount of time and effort should be put in by the partner and the organization to make sure that the two things that we have done as the bare minimum, infra and application, they are effectively and efficiently imbibed and adopted by the organization. So as your business looks to scale to grow in future with a new ERP solution, you would be bound by business model changes, and your solution and we as a partner should be ready to help you out with that. There'll be a lot of data that you would be generating with an ERP system. Are you able to generate that data in an effective manage in an effective way so that you can use this data to become more intelligent and have your operations run much more effectively? Make sure your employees, your partners, your suppliers, your customers, all the key stakeholders in your organization are effectively connected once you have an ERP platform. So that's the approach that we take. I'll just quickly share a bit about Microsoft solutions. And before I do that, we just have a quick poll. I would encourage each one of you to take up this poll. We have a couple of polls that will come uh, through the session. Would request each one of you to submit your answer to these polls, and I'll keep continuing with the session. Microsoft has a suite of solutions which covers the entire operations within an organization. Your core operations, finance, supply chain, HR, these are the core ones that you would have. But in addition to that, your right from your sales process, lead generation, marketing, to your customer service, after your sales, from field service to customer call center, all of these elements, Microsoft has various products that comes as an integrated solution for an organization. So as you settle down with the core elements of your ERP, there are other products that are available that you can leverage to enhance your effectiveness and efficiency of the organization. On top of this, Microsoft has a great analytics and visualization platform in Power BI. It comes with a suite of solutions, Power Automate, Power Apps. These are low-code solutions that once your users are trained, you can very easily build your own dashboards, build your own reports, build automations within your processes. We have some great examples in terms of how small activities that were done manually or through Excel models earlier can be very easily automated and integrated with your ERP solution. So that's the power of the modular the modules and capabilities and applications that Microsoft offers, which really helps an organization transform in the long run. Now, why technology and why so much of importance of technology in supply chain? We are living in a post-COVID era. We have seen the disruptions that we've been through over the past few years. And one of the most critical thing, if you look at this is a typical supply chain. You have your consumer, you have demand coming from consumer. You need to procure raw materials. You have suppliers who would uh, procure these raw materials for you. You as a manufacturer will have to manufacture the product. Then you have your distributors who would distribute it, and then you have the retailers who would sell it to the consumer. All of this, one very critical sort of the backbone is logistics, and that was one of the key thing that got disrupted during COVID, and it just transformed into much more complex challenges that organizations had to bear in the last few years. Now, when you look at this diagram, it looks very simple, but there are many things, many variables that comes into each of these elements. When you look at raw materials, forecasting your demand, the quantity of raw materials, the quality of raw materials, timing, wastage, alternatives to your raw materials from a supplier side, whether you want to have global, local suppliers, you want one single large supplier or multiple suppliers, pricing, credit, performance of these suppliers. From a manufacturing perspective, where is the location, what kind of machinery, inventory, labor availability. Then you look at productivity, you look at defects and rejections, you look at master planning for your manufacturing. Serialization is coming in right now. From a distribution perspective, fleet management, you manage it on your own or you do it via third party, build a network of distributors, storage of your products, safety of the products, and then tracking, serialization, planning the whole logistics. And then we are increasingly seeing manufacturers going direct to consumers. That's another new challenge that has come in. Then you have retailers, whether you want to retail it on your own, you want to do it via third party, you want to do with large retailers or multiple small retailers. How would you store your products? How would you display your products? What are the kind of promotions that you would come up with? And then what happens to rejections and unsold products? And then from a consumer perspective, engaging with your consumer, getting feedback, looking at the trends, looking at competition, looking as your brand building. And then eventually at an organization level, you have regulations, you have R&D, you have environmental concerns, cybersecurity, society that you have to look at into. All of these adds into a lot of complexity in managing supply chain. And that is where it is very, very critical that you have the right solution to help you with all of these things. And that is where Dynamics 365 as a supply chain product helps you out. I just wanted to give you a glimpse of what is the kind of complexity that we're dealing with. I'm sure you, from your domain, you understand all of these very well. But let's see how Dynamics 365 can help you address these challenges, manage all of these different variables as a product. So over to my colleague Satish. Satish, you can share your screen, and I think we have another quick poll that you can take up just to understand your understanding of supply chain management and what you're looking at from this session. Thank you so much. Over to you, Satish.
Almost if I mix 50-50, like I can say, because it's newbie is around 20% and have heard about it, but interested in knowing more is around 36, so which is 50. And looking to implement for your organization is around 44%. So overall, I would eat or something. That's how we prepared our decks as well. Let me share my screen. Am I audible, Anish?
Yes, Satish.
Okay,
Yes, please go ahead.
you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So today's agenda is just what is the overview of D365 finance and operations, just a quick glimpse about some feature management and workspace, and a little bit about product information management, which we call in supply chain, which is an item master or SKU master, and procurement and sourcing, and inventory management and sales and marketing. And in the advanced level, I can able to catch up some if we have some time regarding the production and also the master planning. So there are few modern supply chain also is coming up after this basics. Then the reporting capabilities. These are the three decks which have been prepared for giving a glimpse about the supply chain management. And we will keep last 10 to 15 minutes for your Q&A sessions as well. Okay. So this is the workspace concept. Let me just take it from the full screen mode.
Yeah, you can put it on. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is workspace concept? The the workspace meant to be like the each tiles which you are seeing, like there is no like a previous ERP where you want to go ahead with your navigation path which you want to remember and what you want to perform your daily task. Those hassles have been addressed by introducing the new the workspace management. The workspace management has its own tiles based on your roles and responsibilities assigned in the system. For example, if it is a supply chain manager, he will be dealing with only supply chain modules in his homepage, wherein he can directly click on the particular tile and he can do his own day-to-day activities like this. For example, if it is a sales coordinator, he need to know what all the sales order processing, what is open orders, which is not yet delivered, and what is on hold. All these you can able to see in a single screen to take a decision making and also to perform your daily task effectively. So this is a kind of a workspace which is available in each and every module. If it is a sales returns, you will be having a separate workspace for sales return processing and what is arrived from the market, which is as a sales return, how many replacement orders has to be done for that particular sales return. So kind of like in each and every module you will be having your the workspace particular tailored for the each roles. Now the other beauty thing is you can able to customize and you can add your own tile or own screen into the workspace. For example, if you want to know, I want to know what are all the customers which are all on hold or overdue limit who are all cross the particular credit management. So you can able to go to that particular screen and you can filter and you can go to the options and you can personalize that particular page and you can add it to your own tile, and then it will be added to your workspace in the home page which you saw in the two slides before that. So this is one of the workspace management wherein you can able to customize your own tiles, and from this this is available in all the screens. This options and the personalization is available in all the screens all over the system so that you can able to customize your workspace on your needs. Now coming back to the feature management, this is the one which the Microsoft keep releasing the latest modules or the or advanced modules or enhancements in the particular existing modules. Everything you will be seeing it in this future management workspace. In this future management, if you are seeing that all, you will see what are all have been enabled, what are all is been released new, and when it has been added for which module. It includes the bug fixes as well. If anything in the old fixes, if they want to rectify that, it will be added in the feature management as an optional. And for example, landed cost. All the an organization doesn't need to implement the landed cost module because they may have the only the local purchases wherein they don't have much of import purchases. So they don't want to enable it. So they can able to switch off it, or the system, the Microsoft will not force you to update it. Wherein few features which is Microsoft has been released as a feature management, they will be defaultly it will be switched on after a certain period of time which they will feel that this particular functionality is effectively can be used for all the type of businesses. So you will see that future state will be on by default. You will be seeing it. Microsoft will be adding it when you are upgrading the version to the next version. It will automatically get switched on by default. You don't want to, I mean, it will forcefully update it. The remaining features which is optional, the user can able to decide it, and few features if you have enabled you cannot able to disable. You will see what is the description of the particular module or what is the fix they have provided. You can able or disable as per the user needs. So this is the one which the Microsoft has been enhancing our knowledge, also the functionalities. Like no, like the previous versions, it doesn't need any upgrade or anything which we need to manually do it. So the Microsoft, the lifecycle product lifecycle chain itself is taking care of all these advanced features in the D365 financial operations. And one good thing is you can able to enable this. You can test it in UAT, and if this is effectively working and it is benefiting your organization, then you can enable the same in the live instance as well. This is the feature management is about. Now, let us go into the direct supply chain concepts. The brief about the Microsoft, I don't want to go into modules and what are all it's available. I'm focusing only on the supply chain side. So regarding the item masters, the item master or the product information management, it has different classification. One is product masters, product variants, released products, and category hierarchies, and so on. So what is products? A product is nothing but it's an item which doesn't have any variance, or it doesn't have any classification, I could say. For example, if you can say like an item which has a like a shirt, it has size, color, and the any style. So that will be classified under product master. Whereas products, it doesn't have any classification of a particular item, is said to be as a products. Product variance is the one which I'm talking about: size, color, style, configuration, and you can use these variants in any type of industries. And it doesn't need that you need to enable all the variants for all the products. It is pick and choose for the as per the characteristics of an item. That's what it is. Product variance is about. What is released products? Released products means like you have a line of businesses under your organization tree, and there will be one product department which will be developing the product codes and everything. And if the same item code has to be used throughout the organization, or they want to release this particular item to a another business, so there they will use the release functionality to release from the global item master to the particular organizational item master. That is called releasing the products from the global master. That's the release products functionality, which I can show. These are the screens which you are talking about. This is the complete item, like a product information management is covered. And as you see, these are the products which doesn't have the any classification of the products. If you see here, as I say, this is size, color is one of this dimension of this item, so it will has its different sizes and different colors, and these combination will be attached to a particular item. Okay, so this is the product master, and these are the variants. The system by default, it will generate the combination of the variants, whether it is large and black, large size and color. It will create its own combination, which you are seeing it as a product variants. Okay, and this is the release product variants. This is particular. This item number is visible for only a particular legal entity, which is USMF. That is called the release products, which is released from the global master. And in the item master, it has a huge functionalities like unit conversion. It will not only it addresses a particular industry, it addresses discrete manufacturing, process manufacturing. If the process manufacturing comes with like a formula or a catch weight concept or containerization concept, all the concepts, all the setups is available in the item master, which I could not able to take in deep of the item master because of the time constraint. But it addresses any type of industry in the market. The item master can be prepared based on the services as well as the products. Okay. And this is a category hierarchy. This, what is the category hierarchy which is mentioned in the, it will be attached to an item for your reporting as well as your the throughout the supply chain, the cycle. Like any item, if it is attached to a category, you can have a procurement category. An item can have a procurement category, and also it will be any retail category. You can have the organizational category. So you have multiple categories, and for multiple categories you can associate few items to that category level, and it can be used for multiple modules for the transactions. So you can have like an apparel entity, you can have one set of category hierarchy for your reporting. Another legal entity could be for the manufacturing, where you will be having another hierarchy, and you will attach the items for that particular hierarchy for that particular product. So the category hierarchy is the centralized master for your reporting as well as classification of an item. And any item you can have an attributes in order to, like for example, if you are any retail product and if you are having any the any pharmacy or any healthcare sector, if you are able to dispensing an item, you want to explain few attributes or few composition of an item to the customer. So you can add a custom attributes in each item, and you can explain the same to your customers, as well as you can review these attributes at the time of your transaction. So this is the benefit of the attribute, which you can use it for your detailing of the products. This is one of the workspace which you can see as a global released products, like a global the item master who is handling it like an R&D department. They can have a review of how many has been recently reduced and the release but not yet used. You can have the complete visibility of your item master. So this is a short glimpse of the item master. Since I want to cover lots of topics, I'm not going in depth of each topic. I'm just touching base of all the areas of the supply chain. So next we are coming into procurement and sourcing. Okay, normally this is a procure to pay cycle for all the businesses. It can start with purchase requisition, and purchase requisition is an optional wherein you can able to start directly from the purchase order as well. There is no mandatory requirement that it should start with purchase requisition. It's as per your organizational needs and configuration we can start with. So purchase requisition, and it will flow through the RFQ. In RFQ, you can attach your questionnaires to the vendors, like what are all the questionnaires have to be filled in at the time of your bidding. Then the purchase requisition will be converted to the purchase order. And what is a purchasing policies? The purchasing policy can be set for your organization based on your like category hierarchy, which I discussed before. Few categories has to be accessed for the several users, those type of controls, and whether automatically a purchase requisition should be converted to purchase order. So all these type of rules and controls will be set in the purchasing policies. And the purchase order process, from the purchase order approval to the confirmation and receiving and invoicing, that will come under the purchase process, which will see around in the system. And purchase agreements, this is a kind of a purchase agreement wherein you can use it for your like a blanket orders. You can use this purchase agreement. Second, you can have like a contracts. If any contracts is there, you can able to manage a small contracts through this purchase agreement, wherein you can release every month as a purchase order, and you can have a contract with the vendor for 12 months. And those type of contract management can be mapped through the purchase agreements. And price and discounts, you can have your price list, default vendor price list, which you are getting from the market. And you can able to set your purchase prices in the system, vendor wise or group wise or item wise. You can able to set the discounts and prices, wherein the purchasing agent doesn't want to remember or any maintain a manual price list in order to do the transactions. So this is the overall procurement cycle which I explained. The departmental user will create a purchase request. It will be approved by the department head, wherein the workflow will be enabled in all the modules wherever it is necessary. And the purchasing department will review the request, and they will convert the PR to the RFQ. They will select the vendors, and they will publish the quotation to the vendors. This is a vendor collaboration module, which I'm going to take you through in the modern supply chain management, which I will cover the vendor collaboration module. Then they will compare the replies, and the vendor price details will be updated to the PR. After the final approval, a purchase order will be created. Currently, as a traditional way, the purchase order will be confirmed by the purchasing agent only, purchase department only. But in the vendor collaboration module, we have this liberty to make the commitment from the vendor to confirm the purchase order. And once the goods is delivered, they can able to invoice it manually, and it will go for the approval for the finance. So the invoice will be posted and payment will be processed. This is the overall AP to procure to pay cycle. This vendor layer is the collaboration module, which I will explain you in the future slides. So this is the overall AP cycle from procure to pay for the all the organization. Like then any particular scenarios for any businesses can be handled through different features which is available, like FOC, supplementary items. You can able to configure any type of business scenarios in the procurement and sourcing module. So after this explanation, I'm just taking you through the screenshots. Like this is the overall procurement and sourcing module, which you can see in the screen. And this is the purchase requisition, wherein the workflow will be submit after the user has been submitted the purchase requisition. It will flow through the workflow, and the department heads will be approving the purchase requisition, and it will move to the request for quotation. And from the request for quotation, they will be selecting the type of vendors to whom they want to send the particular quotation. And once the quotation is sent, the RFQs will be having the questionnaires, like what is the product type of checklist there, any particular information you want to gather from related to the products or services, or what is the you have your own criteria for the evaluation which they need to fill the questionnaires for that particular RFQ. So once the reply is received, you will be comparing the replies, and then you will be selecting the right vendor for your organization, and you will release the approved purchase requisition to the purchase order. So this release functionality is you can make it automated by setting up the purchasing policy in the system. This is the purchasing policies, wherein you will have like which catalog can be accessed for which type of departments, or how reapproval of purchase orders. Like say if your PR is converted the purchase order, and in the purchase order level, is there any editing has happened, and which level, which field we need to take it for the reapproval for the purchase orders. All type of your controls can be configured in the purchasing policies, and each purchasing policy it need not to be uniform throughout the company. You can set different policies for different organizations. You can able to set as per your each organizational business requirement. Okay. And once the PR is converted, this is the screen which you will be seeing it. Purchase orders will be created, and the same lines, the items, your price, all the details, delivery terms which have been given in the request for quotation will be automatically copied to the particular purchase order in order to process the purchase orders. So this is the next step wherein you will be confirming your purchase orders, or the vendor can do the confirmation through the vendor portal. And this is the GRN, or goods receipt note, which as per the D365 supply chain, it has been called as product receipt. You can receive the products, you can do partially, you can short close, you can fully receive. All type of business scenarios will be handled in the receipt of the products or services. Then invoice will be raised after the GRN, and there is a three-way matching and two-way matching, wherein you can able to configure whether you want three-way matching or two-way matching, whether price from the purchase order, from the GRN and invoice, all has to match. All these policies can be set in the vendor invoices matching rule. Okay. And this is the purchase agreement where we are talking about. You can use it as a blanket orders for like you can have a product commitment, product quantity commitment, value commitment, or category commitment. All these type of commitments you can able to have it in the purchase agreement. You can release you can set an expiry date for the purchase agreement, wherein between this span of time you can able to release your the purchase orders every monthly basis, or as per the needs you can able to release it to the vendor for the reaching the commitment. And you can see what is the maximum release amount and what we have utilized for this purchase agreement. Everything you can be able to have a visibility in the fulfillment tab on the purchase agreement. Okay. And this is the trade agreement or price journal which we are talking about. You can able to set per item, per vendor, or all the vendors. You can have your own price list and the discount slabs from quantity by quantity, and you can able to set the purchase trade agreement for your your purchase cycle, so that the whenever the purchase order is raised or purchase requisition is raised, whenever you select an item, automatically a price will be fetched in based upon the master data which we have provided for the this thing. This will be used for your analysis of the deviation of the price list versus your purchased price. So we can able to do an analysis based on the deviation of the original master data and your the transactional data. Okay, this is a quick like a workspaces of purchase requisition and purchase orders which we have seen. So this is the generic purchase process, and the the procure to pay cycle. This is how the complete flow will be. And in detail, if you have any specific questions, we will address it in the Q&A session. So I'm moving to the inventory management the module. This what I'm trying to cover is you can see your on hand of and complete item masters, whatever the on hand available in each different site, different warehouse, and even the batch number wise, if you want to see serial number wise, all these will be reviewed in the on hand list. And the what is the like if you want to make any transfer orders for one warehouse to another warehouse, or any request has to be raised from one particular warehouse to another warehouse, to from the central warehouse we need some material to the distribution warehouse, they can raise the transfer order, and the central warehouse can pick up and then ship the item, and then the same items can be received through the your distribution warehouse as well. So this is the orders of the transfer order concept. Next is inventory journals. Inventory journals have multiple journals like write-off journals or movement journal, which you can increase or decrease the stock. Then counting journal is the periodic counting where your organization will be doing it for the multiple counting, maybe monthly, quarterly, or yearly. They can able to do it in the periodic basis. There is a cycle counting concept which I will be touching base in the advanced warehouse management, which is coming in the further slides. And costing adjustment, there in case if any due to some certain scenario our purchase order has been raised and it is invoiced, but we don't want to make any return, still we need to make a cost adjustment for a particular transaction. So how to do it? So there is an closing and adjustment functionality in inventory to adjust the incoming cost of an item. So that is how it works. And the main key concept of inventory management is the inventory recalculation, because most of the organization they use weighted average. To my knowledge, like most of the company is following the inventory policy as weighted average concept. So whenever a weighted average cost or any transaction has been happened, and after that any charges have been loaded, and system has to calculate the right cost of goods sold. So the inventory recalculation will help to exactly monitor that particular transaction, and it will distribute the adjustment cost throughout the transaction to get the accuracy of the product profitability. That's where the inventory recalculation is helpful for the inventory module to get the proper cost as well as proper cost of goods sold. And inventory closing is the monthly procedure wherein you want to close the inventory so that the backdated transactions cannot happen. So the cost will be booked as per the after the management have been reported their the financials as per the inventory related numbers have been presented to the management. So they will close the inventory, then any further transactions or any further cost transactions will affect in the consecutive months. So this is the concept of the inventory closing. As you see, these are the inventory management module, all the menus which are there, and mainly inventory management also consists of the quality orders, I mean quality management as well, which you can enable it throughout the process. Either it can be purchase, it can be sale, or it can be production or in process, any production in process. If you want to have any quality inspection, quality orders, that can be enabled. It's also a part of a inventory management module, which I forgot to mention in the point, but still you can able to see the menu items which is available. These are the transfer orders, like first the transfer orders for the inbound and outbound, and journal entry screens, and your closing and adjustment, and quality management. So overall, you can see the concepts which I have talked about. It is available in the module screen. Let's go one by one. So you will see the on-hand list, because in this on hand you will have several columns which will give you a clear indication of an item at what level it has been, like what is the physical inventory. Maybe few companies or any distribution companies may reserve the inventory for the particular sales orders or particular customers. They will be reserving those orders. So what is physically available and what is it is reserved, then how much it have been ordered or how much sale order has been made, and what is the available physical inventory which is currently used for the further transactions. So a complete visibility can be seen in the on-hand screen, and moreover you have a flexibility to see the inventory in the granular level or the macro level. For example, if you want to see an overall organization level, I want to see what is my inventory available. Second, you can go each site level, how in each site how many inventory is available in my on-hand list. Second, warehouse level. Third, your location level, like if you are using an advanced warehouse management or the normal management also, we can enable the location. So location wise, how much, each batch number wise, how much inventory is available, serial number wise. So you have several multi-dimensional visibility over the inventory. You can able to see it in the on-hand screen. Okay. As I say, these are the dimensions which you can use it for your display of the inventory. Okay. This is the transfer order. So the from warehouse and to warehouse. So from warehouse can be any from warehouse to warehouse transfer, wherein the request who has been raised, and the shipment, the from warehouse should take the ownership of the shipment. Once the item is delivered, the acknowledgement of the receipt of the second warehouse has to be acknowledged through the receive of this particular transfer order. So there is a ownership of an inventory from the origin to the destination. In order to have an internal discipline or internal company disciplinary orders, this transfer orders is used to take the ownership of the inventory. Okay. And this is the journals which we have talked about. You can use the adjustment journal, movement journal for different financial perspective. You can use movement journal to expense out few items. Adjustment is straight away only it will use for the quantity adjustment, either it is a plus or minus, and default gain or loss will be booked for the particular item. So these are the journals, and this is the counting journal. It will show as on date what is your on hand, how much it has been counted, what is the differential quantity, and how much it has to be adjusted. It will be sent through the workflow. Once the warehouse person have completed its counting, it has been enabled for the workflow. After the workflow is submitted, then you can able to proceed the transaction and adjust the inventory. So there is another type of counting is available, which is cycle counting, which I will touch base in the warehouse management, as I mentioned earlier. And this is the closing and adjustment module, wherein you will be adjusting your incoming transaction after analyzing a proper the root cause of it, and then you can able to adjust that particular transaction where the financially you can update the cost, and if you run the recalculation after the adjustment, system will take care of its cost adjustment and cost of goods sold, which will be used for the proper profitability of the report. This is how you can recalculate inventory. Recalculation you can do day by day or as well. It doesn't have any problem, because if you want to have a proper cost of goods sold in every daily basis, you can able to schedule the recalculation daily basis, and then you can able to take out the sales and distribution report on the at almost 95% of your accuracy of your cost of goods sold. Okay. And this is the close inventory, which we are talking about at the month end. Once you close the inventory, there cannot be any further transactions can be posted. and then the inventory numbers will be freezed until unless if you cancel the closing of the inventory. This is the overall purchase cycle inventory. Now we are coming into the sales and marketing. Um, Now in sales and marketing, they are the same like our purchase cycle. The order to cash cycle is the sales quotation, sales agreement, price and discount, sales process, and supplementary items. Supplementary items is that like FOC, which will be getting it from the customers. That's the meaning of the supplementary items. So let's go ahead directly with the sales quotation. The This is the sales and marketing module, which you are seeing in the screen is just only the generic uh, module wherein you can use the for the little bit of your marketing activities can also be handled in the sales and marketing module, and it's not a in-depth of CRM which we'll be using in the dynamic CRM. This is only a basic marketing features can be used for your marketing concepts. Now, this is the quotation. You can able to create a sales quotation for the products and services, and you can provide it to the customer same way like you can send it to the customer. You can revise the quotation. You can able to maintain the versions of the quotation, and it can be enabled for the workflow as well. And once your workflow is approved, the sales quotation will be automatically converted to the sales orders. Okay. And the sale agreement is the same, like how we deal with our purchase agreement for the blanket orders or contracts. The same way we can also able to maintain our sales agreement with our customers, and we can able to track how much we have fulfilled our customer. The same concept of the purchase agreement. It has the same feature of the product quantity and category commitment, which we have seen through. The price list for the customers, same. We can able to have our own customer price list, customer specific or a group of customers. We can able to maintain the price, and we can utilize the data for our sales order process. Okay. So this is the sales order screen wherein you will be getting the quotation converted to the sales order. The sales order will be forwarded to picking, and picking will be forwarded to the packing, and packing will be done, and then the invoice will be raised. This is the generic sales order process. If the sale order if we make if we enable advanced warehouse management, the process could be little different, which will be handled through the mobile device, which I'll touch base it in the advanced warehouse management. Okay, so this is the packing slip, and then invoice posting of the sales order. So sales cycle will be completed. And this is the line details of the sales line. And you can able to the data entry of all the orders or the any data entry. Now the Microsoft has enabled the copy paste functionality, and as well as you can use the Excel add-in, which is at the top. You can able to use the Excel add-in to enter it in the Excel and publish into the data as well. So data entry perspective as well, Microsoft has enhanced their features. And supplementary items, you can have your own master, like if any customer is giving you FOCs, or if any customer is giving any extra items for the particular order. If you click calculate supplementary items as per the master data, system will automatically create the lines with the zero price, and you can able to process the order automatically rather than inputting the FOC items manually. It will show, okay, as per this item, you have eligibility of 20 items as per the supplementary master. You can include it to the sales orders as well. Okay. This is the workspace, like how many unconfirmed orders are there, what all the delayed orders, and how much is partially shipped. So overall, as a sales process or any process through this workspace, you know what action has to be taken as a particular sales agent or the purchasing agent. Okay. So let me move back to the little bit advanced concepts of our supply chain. I have another few minutes left so that we can cover this as well, and we can go for the Q&A session, which we can address your queries. Okay. Uh, as I said, I want to touch base on this few the concepts of landed cost, advanced warehouse management, and vendor collaboration and master planning as a part of the modern supply chain management. Okay, what is a landed cost? Because the earlier in the older versions of our AX, we cannot have the landed cost as per the multiple purchase orders. There is a hassle for the warehouse or the supply chain manager to distribute the shipment cost into the multiple purchase orders. We may place multiple purchase orders of the vendor, but the shipment vendor would have been given a cost wherein we are not sure how much has to be distributed for the each purchase orders, and the reconciliation of this purchase to the finance person of the AP manager could not able to reallocate this cost into the expenses. So these are all the hassles happened earlier. So in order to address these business challenges, the Microsoft has been released this landed cost module, which will take care of all your import purchase orders, your journey of your items, wherein from which port to which port. It has an entire visibility of your import purchases, because for the few distribution companies, almost 95% of their purchases could be import purchase orders, which their hassles or their problems will be addressed by implementing this module. What does this module does? Like, you can create multiple purchase orders, you can confirm the purchase orders. Multiple purchase orders can be created as an voyage, which is a terminology wherein you can assume that it's a kind of a shipment container wherein you can include these purchase orders or several lines of the purchase orders into the voyage. Then once the shipment is received or the ASN confirmation from the vendor which you received, you can able to make the invoice for that particular advance shipment notice for the particular vendor, and goods in transit orders will be created. So now the system will record what are all the goods in transit items which is going to be received in our inventory. So as a financial perspective, we can able to have a track of what is the value of the goods in transit inventory which is going to come into my original inventory. So you have a visibility. Earlier it was not there. So you will have a visibility of your goods in transit. So once the shipment has arrived, now you will be the advance shipment notice. The vendors would have been committed few quantities, but at the time of your receiving, you may have a discrepancy of your quantity which you have received physically. So there is a option in order to record over or under a quantity which you have received for the goods in transit, and you can able to take a decision to whether you need to write off the stock and then you need to raise a credit note manually, or you can create a purchase return and then you can able to debit the vendor. And if it is over received, you can either you want to receive it in the zero cost, or you will be informing the vendor and you will be taking it with the same cost like a over delivery. So all these type of management decision you can able to take it in the landed cost module. Once the items have been received, the cost will be booked as per the estimated, like your your customs duty or shipment clearance. All now the cost of goods sold is in the estimated stage, wherein you can able to sell the items with these estimated cost. Once your shipment invoice has been received, you can go to the AP module and you can book an invoice journal. At that moment, you have an option to retrieve the voyage or the particular voyage which you have posted in the system. Then you can allocate all the charges of that particular shipment vendor invoices. If any discrepancy in the estimated and actual, system will directly adjust the cost of goods sold at the same moment as a right cost of goods sold by adjusting the original estimated cost. So your profitability of your item and your distribution of your shipment invoices throughout all the purchase orders, all these hassles will be removed, and your proper allocation will happen at the time of your invoice journal. This is the concept of the landed cost module, which has been introduced in the finance and operations. Okay. So next is our warehouse management. It's also like earlier, the advanced warehouse management has a huge vast module which is introduced, and then the every month there are releasing a new functionalities of advanced warehouse management. It's like an ocean which we cannot able to address it right now, wherein we can able to have a individual topic if any customers are really interested. So what is the warehouse management module does? It take care of all of your inbound and outbound activities, as well as your in-house replenishment and your counting. All these have been addressed by providing a flexible templates in the module, wherein you can able to set up your own template. Based on the template, system will process your operation, and it's a very extensive flexible templates wherein you can able to address your issues by item as well. If any item has to follow a different warehouse operations, you can able to configure it by using the template. So there is no hard and fasten rule of a warehouse management how it has to be used. You can able to use it as per the your item nature of the business. You can able to configure those templates. So what does the inbound happen? Like you, either your manufacturer or distributor would be sending an item, you will be getting an ASN, or if it is if it is a import or the local purchase orders, then you will get the goods arrival through your mobile device, and you will be doing a checking and sorting. And once you received your items in your receiving area, you can verify the quality, and then the checking and sorting is completed. Then they take out those items from the receiving area to the respective put away area. And we have an option to force the user to put away that item to a particular location based on the fixed locations which you are setting it in your item. It doesn't it is not necessary that every item should have a fixed locations. You can have a, variable location also, wherein the user can determine which location he need to put away. So those type of flexibility is also available. And outbound can be a transfer order and sale order. A transfer order is like the shipping and receiving concept which you are doing it in the system. The picking and the shipment and the delivery note will be done by the your picking device, the mobile device, which I'll show you a short of screenshots, or the app. I will show you what are the features available during the mobile device. And you can able to set up some templates at the time of your shipping. You want to print a label automatically, so you can set up a step inside your work template, and you can say, okay, after this put away is completed, print a sticker to this particular printer, then come back and then do the packing station. So any type of your advanced level of warehouse can be configured using the advanced warehouse management, which they are extensively growing, and they are giving lots of functionalities to address each and every minute scenario. That's a plus of advanced warehouse management in D365. And the outbound process is the same. Then replenishment, you have your replenishment template, wherein you, if you're having a bulk location and you are picking location, once the picking location inventory goes down, take the material from the bulk and automatically replenish the item. So this work can be automated through this replenishment template, and the warehouse worker has to just follow the replenishment template suggested by the system, and he need to go and replenish the item from the fixed location, from the bulk location to the respective items picking location. Next is the counting, which is you can do your cycle counting. You can prepare your cycle counting plans by location wise. Okay, this location monthly once, and this location day wise or item wise. You can able to set your own cycle counting plan. Based on your cycle counting plan, system will able to prepare the plan, and you can able to instruct the warehouse worker to do the counting, and it will be submitted for the approval for the finance, and then it will be processed after the finance approval. So this is the overall warehouse management concepts, and the docking, cross docking, any type of business scenarios can be handled in the warehouse management. This is very simplified way which I have taken it. but any type of cross-docking or any type of scenarios can be addressed by configure it in the templates. This is the same wherein the vendor collaboration module which we have discussed. I can show you this is the vendor collaboration module which we have not shown you at the time of our discussion. So as I said, there will be a vendor user request where we can able to raise the new vendor user request and then it can go for the approval. Once the as per our organizational the checking of the TRN numbers and their credit limits and their the vendors company's background. After all the verification, you can enable the vendor user request. So this particular vendor will have an access to this vendor collaboration module, and once he logged in into the system, he will be seeing only this module. And when we click on any of this, let's say if he wants to go for the vendor bidding, only the datas or the data security and the operational process will be pertaining only to that particular vendor, so that he can do the confirmation of the purchase orders from his side, and then he can able to update the delivery dates as well, like if any delay in the delivery dates, and then he can post the invoices once the physically the goods have been received, and the invoicing can be reviewed by the finance, and then it will be automatically posted into the vendor statement. Then vendor information, he can able to update his information of any of his contacts or email IDs, address change, or any license number. Anything can be updated through the vendor information from the vendor portal. So this is the vendor collaboration module. Uh, Next is the master planning. See, the master planning module has different aspects wherein there are three types. One is order to make, or one is order to stock. Then third one is the forecasting and min max. So you can able to configure based on your needs, like and all these scenarios can also be configured in the single business scenario also. Like if you are having only you are doing a business based on order to make, once the order comes, then only you will be able to fulfill the customer demand. What could be the estimated delivery date which I can promise to the customers, or you are doing some manufacturing for only to stock, then after that the trading will start. So you can able to configure the master planning engine based on your business style. Like if it is an order, then say the system can take your sales quotation, what are the sales order, what are the demands, what are the items required to manufacture, or what are the items has to be procured. Even if you are not a manufacturer, still if you are only making a trading business but you are getting an order and you have your default vendors of this particular item, and they may have different lead times. So when can I able to get it from my vendor, and then how can I able to supply to my customer? All these type of the calculations or the planning system does, and then it will give you a proposed order date and delivery date. And based on the customer's delivery date, if he is providing you a delivery date, how much delay can happen, or what you can able to do in order to fulfill the customer's delivery date promise. So like you can able to change your mode of shipment from air shipment to the the sea shipment to the air shipment in order to meet your customer's delivery date. So any type of managerial decisions can be taken using these master planning module. And there is an external data connector for this master planning in order to supply your forecast. Like if you have any sales forecast which you want to get it from the or any AI through AI tools, you want to simulate your sales based on your historical data, and the historical data doesn't require, it has to be done only through this financial operation sales. You can able to feed in your historical sales through the AI model, and you can able to simulate your forecast, and you can publish that forecast into the system, so that planning can also happen for the forecast planning also. So these are the your demand forecasting can be done, and your actual sales orders can be planned through master planning module. And you can able to identify what challenges you are going to face by taking your proper supply chain principles. So these are the advanced level of supply chain concepts which is there. There are other few concepts which we could not able to cover it. Then I will go back to the reporting capabilities which the Microsoft is publishing. Like even I could say one of the slide I will give you an example. This is the purchase performance spend analysis. What the every vendor purchases, top vendors, and what are the average vendor purchases by vendor group. All these is by the default BI. It has been enabled, and its system will populate your data as per the transactions in the system, and you can able to customize this as well as per your needs. And this is the category wise purchases. What are the category wise? How much is the split? And what are the top 10 products in the purchases? And this is month wise purchases. And you have the last year versus current year comparison as well by category level. And what is the increase or decrease? How much is the percentage year on year variance? What is happening? These are the reports. This one is like this is an this supply risk assessment. Currently, you may not see it in the front end if you are using any of the latest version. You need to enable this particular supply risk assessment using the feature management, because few it is not by on default. If you enable this in the feature management, this reports will be published for your analytics. Like what is the percentage, what is the risk we may use to which may get delayed. So all these insights will be given, and you can able to see the risks as well. How much is the performance, and what are the risk involved, like if any delay in the delivery or site level, what are the delays can happen. So all these analytics can be analyzed by using the purchasing model, supply risk assessment. Okay. So these are the sample reports. Okay. And this will be helpful when you are using the master planning. It will be comparing with your planned purchase orders and your confirmed purchase orders. What are the variants and what are the decisions have been taken? All type of analysis you can able to take it through the performance and risk assessment report. Okay. These are all default reports which is available standard from the system. And inventory dashboards and inventory reports. This is for the manufacturing as well as for the inventory accounting analysis. Now it has been moved as a cost management module. All type of manufacturing analysis has been kept it in the cost management module, which they have bifurcated from the inventory module. And you can see as per the manufacturing, what are the accounting analysis happening for each category wise, how much percentage of the consumption happen for the particular material. And you can see what is the days on hand and what are the active products in the period. And in each cost level, you can see what is the usage of the particular item. And this is inventory overview, overall turnover ratio, and what is the ending balance of each category as well as item group. This is the inventory statement, like what is the beginning balance, what is the sourcing quantity and value, and what is the usage, and what is the ending balance, what is the average cost. All these inventory statement is also provided by default. Okay, so you can see category wise it has been distributed those items, and then it shows you the like not only aging, it is like a kind of a stock movement, how it is happening. Okay, and this is the sales perspective, like what all the revenue by customers, products, category, what is the margin or profitability of each item wise. So there are some decks are available. Maybe we can able to review it after this thing, the session. And you can see gross margin wise, profit wise. And this is the warehouse performance. Like if you are going with advanced warehouse management, how many orders are shipped early and how much is on time, how much is late, and how many customers level we have been distributed through the shipment and warehouse. Like if you are using our purchase orders, what is your inbound performance, how much was received on time, like what is the put away average once you after receiving and checking and sorting, putting away into the original location, what is the average time taken by the worker. All these can be addressed by the this thing. And if any counting accuracy, what is the each location wise, how much counting accuracy we are managing it. Earlier, these type of visibility is not available, but they have been provided in this analytics of warehouse module as well. Okay, that's it. Thank you. So overall, I just covered the glimpse of topics, what are all available in the supply chain concept. And I could not able to go in depth and explain each and every process because of the time constraint. So we will be happy to address you if you have any detailed requirement on a particular topic which we need to explain in detail. We will be happy to do it. And it's over to you now. Now we can able to take up the QA session. Anish.
Yes,
Just before
thank you,
that,
Satish.
Sorry. Yeah,
we
Anshul.
have a
Sorry.
poll going on.
Okay.
So if you guys can just take 30 seconds to respond to that particular poll, and then we'll go to the Q&A session. Satish, one sheet of all the questions have been forwarded to you. You can just get it from your mailbox.
Satish, there are some questions that came in while you were presenting. And then I think we have Mr. Amrali, he has raised his hand. Anshul, if you can unmute him, we'll have him ask his question. In the meantime, Satish, you can look at the questions that Anshul had shared with you.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Mr. Amarali, you can, I have unmuted you. You have to unmute yourself. You will be able to speak up and ask your question.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. I have a question. This webinar is specifically for supply chains and warehouse, and I listened to it and it was very informative. Thank you for that. But mainly, I have a question. Is there any introductory webinar or video regarding the preventive maintenance integrated with Dynamics and also the asset integrity?
Yes, actually, there is a module wherein the asset management module, which it is you can able to do preventive maintenance and corrective maintenance in asset management module,
Yes.
which is a part of our supply chain as well. And it's integrated to like your any system. It can be integrated from your facilities or any type of machines. It can be integrated. So whenever we are planning for any and a separate session for asset management, we can able to cover your topics. But yes, it is available. System has already have a provision of asset management module in D365 management operation. It is available.
Okay.
Also, sir, if you need a direct session on this, let us know and we'll be more than happy to schedule a half an hour, 45-minute session just to walk you through the module.
Great. Who can I contact?
Anshul, we have sir's details, right? We
Yes,
will reach out
yes.
to you, sir.
We'll reach out to
Okay.
you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very
We'll
much.
send you an email. Yes, sure. Thank
Okay.
you.
Perfect.
I'm just looking after the question and answers. One second. Yeah. So overall, I'll just take a quick few questions like product dimension and storage dimension. I think I have already addressed on it. Like product dimension is size, color, and configuration, and storage dimension is warehouse level, location level. Mr. Ajit Tankachan. So that's what it is. Does have trade marketing spend module. Yes, we can have the like there is a question wherein you can able to have any marketing spend analysis, yes, it is possible, like marketing expenses, which you can able to track in the system. There is an availability and provision for the setups that is also available. Overall, yes, rebates is available, and your RFQs and can be sent against opportunities, because it cannot be an RFQ, it can be only the sales quotation wherein you can able to send it. But for sending an RFQ, you need to create a vendor, or you can have a prospective vendor, and then you can able to send the RFQs to such vendors. This is one of the question. And overall, yes, in the high level, I can see WMS module can be integrated with your current ERP. We need more details on what is your current ERP, and we can able to advise whether we can use the default WMS module, or we need to um, integrate with your ERP, or we need to implement our solution. We need to discuss on it. Demand forecasting tool, it has a very depth concept which I could not able to cover it in this current session, but there are lots of advanced topics which we will try to schedule a separate webinar on that as well, like for in order to know more about your forecasting tools. Then uh, yeah, so overall, the another one is WMS is capable of doing 3PL services? Yes, we have done it, and in our Kuwait, one of our client, we have implemented who is taking care of only the 3PL logistics, where we can able to configure ourselves by configuring the volume and location capacity, and then we can able to build the customer based on the volume they used. It can be used for the 3PL services where we have already implemented. We can discuss in depth if you want to know about more concepts. And BA reports, the embedded reports, which is already available in the D365, you don't want to pay any license. If any, the customers which you want to, if you want to utilize this BA reports outside the Power BI, you may need to procure the license, which is like a very low amount, which I'm not aware, maybe $10, I think. So you need to take about it. Consignment process. If it is a sales consignment, we need to do a workaround. If it is a purchase consignment, directly system has an provision to do the consignment process. Like you can able to keep the vendor's ownership, and then you can able to bill it once you sell. Whereas if we are having a sales consignment, we need to do a workaround by having a virtual warehouse where we need to record the inventory into our in our virtual warehouse, and then we need to sell it through that particular warehouse. There is no sales consignment process by default in the system. We need to do a workaround solution as well. Barcoding, yes, 100%. We have done all type of barcoding, whether item from the item creation to item dispatch. Throughout the process, barcoding can be configured, and then it can be blend into the process of that whole supply chain. That is possible. And rebates is also rebate management. They have already given a few more rebate management deals. There are a very extensive, the functionalities are available, the rebate management, and it is based on your it cannot be linked with your any agreements. It is related to your invoicing only. So you can have an agreement with the vendor, and what type of if it is value based agreement, you can able to set the value based rebates. If it is a quantity based rebates, you can able to set what is the quantity have you been crossed, you can able to claim your rebates. So rebate management is also have been done. And regarding the inventory side, you can transfer the warehouse based upon the duties and handling charges. It depends upon the localization. If it is an because by default system has a the default charges and other overheads cost can be added if it is an particular country localizations. But if you are in the if you are UAE region, if you want to transfer from one country to another country by creating a virtual warehouse, that maybe need to have a workaround or any configuration tweaking has to be done for the transfer order charges. There is no default charges available in the system. So that's what it is. And I think we have covered to the maximum extent, and we need to wrap up. And if any other questions, we can able to put it out in the chat, and then we will be happy to address you. And Anshul and Anish will be reaching you for any further specific queries. Anshul and Anish, over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Satish. We're just in time to wrap up. Thank you again, everyone, for attending the session.